Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is a Thursday night, so it's a little bit different than usual. Usually, we try to hit them Saturdays. I will kind of just wait around until some folks get in here and talk to myself while I'm doing so. So, to start off, we have some food that Dan sent. Now, I've still got to cook this. I mean, I've got it all thawed out and it's ready to go. I'm going to say it might take 7 to 10 minutes. Hey, Miss Marilyn. Hey, Cliff. Let's go to live chat. All right. And I also have a two-tiered stack of packages that is about 3 feet tall, I would say. I'm not exactly sure. Roughly. I don't. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I got 8 packages here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. Hey, what's up, Tracy? I have a box that Dan sent that I'm going to open up first, and then I'll do that while this is cooking in my little toaster oven. And I would plug it in right here and just cook it right here. I mean, I guess I could. I just don't trust this outlet over here. It's, well, I don't trust it. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I plug my Christmas tree into it. I figure this little stove draws a little more than the LED Christmas tree, though. I don't know. I know my plug-ins in the kitchen are good. This house that I live in is old. It has aluminum wiring with that fiber coating. So, I don't trust it. Well, I've got other reasons why I don't trust it, but I don't trust it. Anyway, moving on from that. Yeah, let's flip the camera around here. Why not? And I'll talk to you guys for a minute. So I gotta stand way back here because this. There's no way. Let's see. The stack of packages is about that tall. It really hasn't amassed for very long. Now, I will say that 2 or 3 of these are packages that I bought. One of the packages are things that I bought from Saltycroccollectibles. If you guys don't know who that is, search that up on eBay. I don't know what he's got on there right now. I need to check because he is selling off some, or going to end up being all of his collection maybe. I didn't ask him why he's doing that. I'm just passing along the fact that he's doing it because obviously his name's Vince. Vince has been in the community for years now. I personally think he's a valued member of the community. He's been super kind to me on multiple occasions by sending me packages and stuff. But that really honestly is besides the point. I like the guy. So when this happens, it just kind of, I don't know, makes me feel weird. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and usually it's like, yeah, whatever, because that's really typically the process. People get infatuated by this, by watching, might catch maybe one of my videos, probably not, more than likely one of Steve's videos, and then they're like laser focused, they're in this. But sometimes when people get in it and they end up here with us, they realize that there's a community built here that we have amassed over the years of people that actually care for other people. It's not something you find everywhere nowadays. I don't know what happened to America, because you used to be able to find that with your neighbors, with everybody. Online has changed the world. That the online communities, and I don't know how to put it really. It hasn't taken me out of the real world, but it has taken a lot of people out of interaction outside of their house, and that is a downside to what we have going on here is that sometimes people get comfortable with this and they don't feel like they need the real thing outside, physical, like I'm looking at you in the same room type of relationships. So, you know, this is the best online community that I have seen, period, that I've found, and luckily I'm a part of it. You know, I have seen multiple other. I mean, look, there's a community for almost everything. Like, look at Nathan's MRE. Like, he was in the BMW community. That's a community. And on, like, maybe I would say there's probably like a YouTube auto mechanic or auto tip like community. I'd say there's probably a few guys that in that group, which there's probably a bunch of those groups. Just like there's probably more groups like ours that that I don't even know about. I mean, that, and maybe there's more in other countries. You know, we get a lot of international action here in the ration community because the ration community is based on rations from around the world, not just United States stuff. So we do it diversifies our reach and the interest to other folks. But it's very hard to get, especially vintage, anything vintage from another country. If you do, you're lucky. So I have been lucky enough to get a few items over the years. I've amassed a small collection of vintage British stuff. I've got a couple vintage Australian items that I bought. I paid way too much, man. I can remember I bought this Australian survival ration. I don't think it's been reviewed on YouTube yet, but I bought this thing. Hey, kitty, you got to stop. Anyways, I bought this thing probably like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And even back then, like, prices were way cheaper on pretty much everything back then. Not everything, but pretty much. Because I can remember Russian Mountain rations back then going for like $150, $200, sometimes maybe even a little more than that. But I think I paid like $375 for this, and I was on the broke side back then. So dropping that kind of cash on a ration that's about, I don't know, it's probably about that long and about that wide, you know, probably about that thick maybe. It's like a small mess tin that you can boil water in and stuff. I'm pretty sure, I haven't really even looked at it. It's still packaged up the way it came, the way it showed up. Vintage international stuff. I'm sure I have a few other items, but that's just the two that are popping into my head right off the top of my head. But it's not common. I mean, I might have a few vintage Norwegian things. Like, I know I got some vintage Norwegian cans from Rations, but I can't remember what else. Oh, I got some vintage German stuff. I do have some vintage German stuff. I've got some late 80s, early 90s stuff, and then I've also got a couple 70s items. So, 70s rations, not items. If you guys don't mind, if you guys interact with other folks that are common to the live streams that I do, if you could share with them that I am live, because I know that my post probably didn't reach that many people. I did post earlier today, and then I think I posted again before we started. Oh, maybe I could post that we're live right now. How about that? Okay. See, Lando answered me on Slack there. He said, okay. Let me make a quick post. And then let me go through this stuff. I have a sausage roll, and I have a meat pie, and then I have also thawed out 2 lamingtons. Lamingtons are sponge cake, dipped in chocolate. Then I can't remember what else they do to it. And then they put coconut on them. I know that. what do they do after they dip it in chocolate? I can't remember. Anyways, they dip them in chocolate, and then they do something else to them, because if not, they would look the way they do. If you guys didn't see them, I'll show you before I take them in there, and I'll show you my little. The reason I even brought my little stove in here is because it kind of has a little bit of a story to it that I'll share with you guys. Let me make this post real quick. Okay, go home. I think I can get this done pretty quick. Oops. Need to add that picture. Okay, so I use swipe to text a lot. I don't know if this does it to everybody, and I don't know why or how or what it ever started doing it to me. But for the word the, T-H-E, I'll do that, and the R is right next to the E. I get T-H-R all the time instead of the, and I got to go back and correct it after I'll swipe it real quick, whatever I'm texting, and then I'll read back through it to make sure there's no mistakes. I miss them sometimes. But, man, that drives me crazy. It's not just that. There's other, stupid mistakes, and Samsung is horrible about them. I've noticed that Apple, though, is very intuitive, and it, can kind of predict what your next word's going to be. That cat's going to drive me crazy. I got to stop it. All right, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's bring it back. Okay. So, here is my toaster oven. This thing, it's like Elements? Kitchen Elements, sorry. Toaster oven, 120 volt, household use only. Huh. That would be about right. So the date code on it is a Julian date code. No, it is not. What date would that be? Okay, well, maybe. So I was going to say, I have had this thing anywhere in between 14 and 15 years. Not uncommon to have a kitchen appliance, that is that old or whatever. When I initially bought that thing, I honestly did not expect it to last any time. Really. Honestly, I figured this is a throwaway item. And I'll tell you why I thought that. I bought that for 99 cents. Less than $1. Well, after tax, it would have been a little over $1, but the price of it was 99 cents. I bought it. I'm going to say, even reading that date code, it doesn't make any sense to me. Regardless. Anyways, I bought it for 99 cents, and they had 2 or 3 of them. I don't know why I didn't just go ahead and buy another one. I mean, I would have had to store it all these years. But at the time, I was thinking this is going to end up being crap, and I'm going to end up throwing it away in no time because the element will burn up in it or something. That has not been the case. This thing has been, I mean, it's been our toaster oven for at least 14, 15 years. I would say, I think it's longer than that. Honestly, I was thinking it was closer to like 18 years, but maybe it was 15 years ago. That's possible, I guess. But I mean, I've been in this house for 14 years, and I'm pretty dang sure I moved that thing over here with me whenever I moved. Because I only moved from across the street. Like, I lived, let's call it 150 feet. Let's see. No, not even that. If you go from the corner of my yard to the corner of my other yard, I would say we're talking like it's less than 150 feet. That's how far I moved. From door to door, I'm going to say it's probably maybe 200 feet, 250 feet, if, depending how accurate I am. It wasn't a horrible move. I'll be honest. I was very happy to move from where I was at to here. My rent went up $50, I think, is what it was. Actually, no, it didn't go up at all, because the guy that bought the trailer park that I lived in over there just upped our rent, and I ended up paying the same thing here as I did over there. And I paid that rent, the same rent, up until I think it was January of this year. And yeah, I think it was January this year, because both my landlords passed away, and they finally, their daughter was just, she didn't want anything to do with the place, so she decided she was going to get rid of it. And had I not taken action and got it, I would have I'd have been out. I'd have been looking for a new place, and that wasn't something I was wanting to do at that time, or that I ever want to. I dread the thought of moving, because when I look around and I think about it, like, it's not going to be easy. I know I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it soon. I just don't look forward to it, man. Like, I'm going to find things that I haven't seen in years. It's going to be like one of those explorations, and I know I've got what I would consider to be some pretty cool stuff from like my childhood and stuff that I've got to go through, that hopefully I'll be able to pass down to my kids, and then hopefully they'll have grandkids and they'll pass it down to their, my kids will pass it down to their kids. I've got stuff that's worthy of that. Some stuff I've been able to keep, like, collectibles throughout my life. So I wish, I was talking to Amber the other day, because someone came in her store down there, because they do a FedEx thing, like you can come in and have FedEx packages picked up, I guess, or maybe it was UPS, something like that. And she was talking about this guy that came in with his original Jordans from the 90s, which was my era of Jordans. Which, actually, no, his were from the 80s. They were first. They were the first Jordans. I guess he got a decent amount of money for them, but I don't think he got enough, really, after she told me what the whole deal was. But anyways, I kept all my shoes, and the only thing I used my Jordans for was basketball. Like, I had the good ones too, like the 6s, the 7s. I don't remember if I had the 8s, but I definitely had, and the 9s. I didn't like the 10s, so I skipped the 10s. And then after that, like, I lost interest, because I didn't like the shoes, man. I just didn't like them. The 6s were probably the first ones that I really, really liked, and I had those, the 7s and the 9s, and I had a couple pairs of the 6s, I think. And I know I had 2 pairs of the 9s, because I had the black ones and I had the white ones. And I kept the boxes, and I left them in my closet in my mom's house where I was at back then, and I don't know what she done with them. I know they sat there for a long time. I'm going to say at least 10, 15 years. But there really wasn't interest for them back then. That's really spiked recently. But I wish I had them. I'd have probably sold them though, because the prices have gotten insane. So I probably would have gotten rid of them. For a nice pair of originals, I'll bet I could probably get $1,500. Plus my size is like a really common size that everybody, well, a lot. It's a very common size, which is good. So anyway, I need to get this stuff baking, and the meat pie is a peppered steak pie, and then there's the sausage. I think it's called a sausage roll. It just says, okay. If you guys didn't see the thumbnail, that sticker right there. Aussie pies and sausages. I do believe, yes, they're out of California, Los Angeles, California. This came in as a, like, dry ice in it, is how it came. So, it actually, total was in this box for probably, I'm going to say probably 3 days, at least. Because I think Dan said they screwed up something with the shipping, and it came back to them or something. I can't remember exactly what he told me. But then they shipped it out again. They might have repacked the ice probably then. But it was still frozen. When I put it in the freezer, everything was still frozen. I have 6 of those lamingtons that he sent me. I have 2 of those sausage rolls. And there's 3 different meat pies. I have 1 out because I don't want to waste them. I don't feel like that would be very prudent or nice of me. And there's no way, like, I know my appetite. I know what I can consume. I'm going to try to get my son to eat at least half of this. So, yeah. Let me, real quick, let me go put this stuff in the oven, the little toaster oven. And I'm going to have to take the whole plate. So, let me stick this package up there. So I have some packages here that I don't know who they came from. I have Amazon packages, a couple of them, that don't have addresses on them or names or anything like that. They might have a note inside of them, but obviously I have not opened them up. So, all right, I'll be right back, and we'll open that package from Dan. I wish Dan was here, but I don't know if it's early in the morning in Australia. Alright. I really kind of want to dig into one of these these Lamingtons here. Maybe I will take a bite. I don't know. I'm really wanting to. Uh-oh. Got a super chat from... Oops. LC. Evening, good sir. Wish I could stay. However, I'm visiting my father for his birthday weekend, so I'm unable to attend this stream. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you... We'll see for the mystery box opening. I will not open the box that you sent right now, LC. I will leave that and not open it. I was thinking, depending on what you thought about it, I was going to ask you first. I wasn't just going to do it, but I was going to say we could open it tonight, see what's going on, and then do it. But I think opening it all, making a stream and just opening it then is probably the best route, in my opinion. So that is what we're going to do. All right. Wish I could text Dan. Oh, by the way, thank you for the super chat, LC. I didn't even register in my head to say thank you for the super chat, but thank you for the super chat, LC. Agree. What'd you say? Agreed. Have a nice evening, y'all, and see you next weekend. Yes. While you're still here, this being Easter weekend, I don't know that Saturday will be a good day because Good Friday, and then Saturday everybody's kind of doing family stuff usually. Definitely a lot, and a lot of people are traveling. And then you got obviously Easter Sunday, which we are. What just happened? Are you guys? Okay, did I? Okay, shoo! Thought I just lost the stream. Anyways, I don't know that I'll be available Saturday because we're doing a lot of stuff this weekend too. So I don't know. Oozing? Okay, hang on, Gail. I'm kind of oozing too, but I don't know if we're on the same for the same reasons. But yeah, if I decide to stream Saturday, if I know that I'm going to have that day open, which I don't think that I am, I will let everybody know ahead of time for sure. Like I'll at least try to do it. Like let everybody know Friday evening. I'll put a post up, and then I'll also do one earlier Saturday. Another post if I'm going to do it Saturday, if I'm going to do one Saturday. And if I do one this Saturday, it probably, I won't do anything special like LC's box because, like I said, I don't think very many people will be able to show up with it being the holiday weekend and whatnot. So we have got some really cool stuff to open up here. Now, I also do have a package from, who sent that? Was it Bourbon Street? Who was that? No, Mike Kreischer sent a package that I do believe LC said goes with her package. And Trucker also put stuff in LC's package, from what I understand. I think. I'm not 100% sure what I just told you is true. It just seemed like that's kind of what Trucker conveyed to me. I think he did say that he might have put a couple things in a box or in the box or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, and I don't think I should open Mike's package either because I'm pretty sure it goes along with LC's box. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Now these other packages that I don't know what they are, if somebody wants to speak up in the chat right now and say no, don't open those, that would be fine. I don't know who they're from. I don't know what they are. This says My Loft. It came from Fresno, California. United States Postal Service delivery. It delivered obviously to me. And it's this package. And there was another one. Another Amazon package right here. Here's another Amazon package that is actually an Amazon package. Or no, maybe it isn't. You know what? I don't know if this is actually an Amazon package. Wait, no, this is not the one. This ain't the one anyway. What the heck? That's the one from Salty. Collectibles. Wait, is it down here? Yeah, here it is. Same size box. It's just... see, this one's G Deer. This one came from Lexington, Kentucky, 172 Trade Street. G Deer. G Deer. I don't know what this is either. So, all right. Where we're doing the Australian themed food tonight, though, I thought opening Dan's package would certainly fit or be par for the course. I just hate to open Dan's package and him not be here. I don't feel right about that. Can anybody message Dan? I don't know, Miss Marilyn, if you have a way to message him and see if maybe he can stop in for a few minutes while I open this package. It is early in the morning over there, I do believe. We're talking like, I think they're exactly 12 hours ahead of us. So it's like 9:30 in the morning. Okay, I'm smelling that food in there. Let me go make sure it ain't burnt. Woo. Mom home? No. Stella, get down. See? Ugh. She has been getting on my last nerve. The food is done, for sure. And I think it's cooked perfectly. It's super hot. I'll have to go in there. I'll just get another plate or maybe take my tray. Should I use my tray? I don't know if I should use my tray. Maybe I should use my tray. Ethan, are you going to try this stuff with me? Eat some of it? I'm not going to be able to eat it all, dude. So you won't try it? I'd like for you to give your reaction. Sparrow says tray, yes or no? Good question. Tray it or plate it? I don't know what's going to run out of that peppered steak, if it's just like a dry peppered steak or if it's like got a gravy to it. I'm going to confess, I have never seen the inside of a meat pie. We have chicken pot pies here in America, and I think they do a beef pot pie, which I don't ever eat or wouldn't ever eat probably. But tray it. All right. Well, depends on the steak, to be honest. I've had some amazing juicy steaks that were, I feel like if you use like A1 steak sauce, it kind of ruins the steak if it's a really good steak. Now, if it's just like your mediocre or lower grade steak, yeah, steak sauce all day. Give me some A1. I love A1. But a good steak, man, I've had some good steaks in my day. All right, I'm going to go grab those two items, and hopefully Dan can show up. So I got room to set this thing. Put probably set it like this. Put it there. Okay, be right back. Stella, you need to chill. Here, I'll fix your seat. There. All better. She has ruined my recliner. I'm going to have to... I got to buy her own chair and get rid of that one. Okay, so this did get a little bit... just a little bit overdone right there, I would say. But other than that, getting a little bit too... It's still brown. It's not black. It looks really dark on here, but it's dark, but it ain't so dark that it's burnt. It's just, I would call it on the caramelized side of things. From Dan, said he's at work, can't stop by, but to go ahead and open it with his compliments. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, all right, well, this needs to cool down because it's extremely hot. It literally just came out of the oven. So, let me make a place to set it down. Oh, yeah, I got a good place right here. All right. I'll set it on top of that Aussie pies and sausages box. Now, you can order this stuff that I have that Dan sent me from Aussie pies and sausages in California. I think it said Fresno. I think Fresno, California is where they're at. Not 100% sure on that. Maybe LA. Anyway, you can order that stuff. I have not looked or seen their looked at or seen their website. So you can go check that out and see what it's like. I guess we could look that up real quick. Aussie pies and sausages, California. Okay, here is their website. Okay. There it is. Your home of meat pies in the USA. We ship to every state. Every order is lovingly handmade using the freshest premium ingredients. There's their phone number. There's the fellow that does it. I did watch a couple videos that he has made. The Anzac package, 15 party pies. What are party pies? Huh. 15 mini sausage rolls, which are just the sausage rolls cut in pieces. 5 Anzac bickies, biscuits, I guess. I don't know. 4 Lamos? I guess maybe Lamingtons. And a 7-ounce bag? I don't know what that... Anyways. There's Lamington. 6-piece. Looks like little ones. Oh, that cat. Actually, no, those are probably full size. Classic meat pies. Many different flavors. And there's your sausage rolls. I think the one that I have here has sesame seeds on top. I guess they all do. There's vegan ones. Anyway, you get the idea. What's the Chico roll? All right, it just caught my attention. The party pie platter. That looks really good too. That is a puff pastry type crust that it's wrapped in the pie. I don't know about the sausage one. I don't think it's quite that. Puff pastry. Let's see. Part of our fish and chips culture, Chico roll is that traditional item. What's inside? That's a time-guarded mystery. Really? Huh. Okay, so I guess we don't we don't get to know what's in that Chico thing. Anyway, okay. But you guys get the idea. There's stuff you guys can order if you like what you see here. All right, Dan's box. Let's open Dan's box. Oh, wait. Never mind. It's got... Well, I'm going to flip it over. I just did that. All right. This box is a little flimsy. That's some good, strong duct tape right there. All right. What do we have here? Menu C. And that's not just any menu C. This is the PR1M. This is the freeze-dried version. Where's the freeze-dried stuff at? Right here. It's one package of the freeze-dried food. And that's all I see is the one package of the freeze-dried food. That's weird. Yeah, that's all there is. Huh. Anyway, yeah, these things are crazy hard to get. Limited, or they just don't make very many of them, and they really don't ever make it out into population, hardly ever. So it's very hard to get your hands on them, and when you do see them, they're insanely expensive. So Dan said he'd already had one of these, and the one that he sent me before, we actually sold it off. So he sent me this one since he said he'd already had one. So I can't be more thankful to have this thing, because if it wasn't for Dan, I can promise you that I'd never get my hands on one. I've tried for years. There was a time where Bob, Black Dog Bob, was supposed to be getting some, but I don't know if he ever did, but I never seen any. So that was the only time I ever really felt like I was close to getting one, but I never did get one. So, okay. Set this right here. Let's see what else he's got in here. What is this? Oh, I know what that is. I've had this before. Good old coffee and milk. Got a little dented. Maybe I can pop it out. Nope. Yeah, got that one. Well, I'll try to work on that later. But this stuff is like really, really thick, basically like a concentrate. You just add hot water, and then you got coffee. And how many cups does this make? Probably, I'm going to say like 10. Let's see. Okay, place 4 squares of milk chocolate. Okay, that's something else. I don't see how many servings. Maybe it's over here. 15. Servings per package, it says there's 15. Which honestly, if you fix a little bit bigger cup of coffee, you're probably going to get around 10 to 12, I would say. Like 8 to 10 ounce cups of coffee. This stuff is awesome. Ideal for camping. It really is. Once you pop the top, put it in a like sealable jar with a lid or something, and you're set. You're good to go. Awesome stuff. I've never seen this in America. So if they have this here in America, you guys let me know, because I've never seen it. Let's see. Best by date says 10/22. Right up my alley. What do we have here? Pure Tassie? No artificial color. It's black currant fruit drink. It's a big one too. 500 mils. 500 milliliters. Huh, look at that. That's meant to pull that off. We don't have any easy to remove labels that I can think of in America. Made in Australia from at least 99% Australian ingredients. Wow. Proud of that. Putting it right on there. Cool. What else we got here? What's that? What is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. What is this? Oh. This is a ginger beer. Australian family owned. So this is going to also be a purely Australian item. Craft brewed over 3 days. Is this old? Is this from 08? February 24th, 08. Could this be old? Older? Huh. I'll have to ask about that. Interesting. Does this have alcohol in it? I don't think ginger... Well, maybe it does. I mean, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I don't think it does. If it does... Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, I think that's it. That is it. Well, thank you for all the amazing items, Dan. I've got to figure this one out and find out if it's actually... That is an 08, yeah. I'm pretty sure that means 2008. That's all it could mean, right? I don't know what else it could mean. I'm honestly surprised that everything made it in such good shape. Because this box is one of the Australian postal boxes. And like they are not up for very many tasks. Let's put it that way. Alright, I'm taking the coffee out. Because it won't fit back in there. Alright. Now. Yeah, I did bring a fork. Good deal. Here we go. Alright. It's already got like pre-poked holes in it. It's definitely cooled down. Alright. Let's go for the sausage first. Now, I thought this was going to be like a sausage and like encased sausage. I don't think that's what this is. I think this is like breakfast sausage, loose sausage, rolled out into a log and then wrapped. And then maybe deep fried? I'm not sure. It don't really smell like breakfast sausage so much, though. I don't smell like the sage or anything that you would typically associate with like that spiced breakfast sausage. Really just smells like pork. All right. Here we go. Down the hatch. The sausage is really mild. but it's also savory at the same time. It kind of has a, what is that flavor? Onion? I'm picking up onion. And the breading itself almost has like a, just like a slight sweetness to it. The sausage is juicy, which it kind of made the bread a little bit soggy on that one side, the bottom side, where it kind of cooked out. Super easy to eat. This would be like, I'm going to assume, perfect gas station food. Something that you'd eat driving or something. You're hungry. You don't want to go fast food like McDonald's or something. You stop by a gas station, pick something like this up that's handmade, homemade. The end is really good. So, no gravy ran out. Here's what the inside looks like. Not much in the way of smells. I expected to smell like pepper. I'm not picking any pepper up. Really just kind of a meat smell, more or less. I guess fitting for a meat pie. It does look like the steak's kind of juicy. I mean, it's definitely wet looking. All right, here we go. Not what I was expecting. I mean, obviously super, super meaty. But in the way of spices or anything added, it's very, very simple. There's not much to it. Which sometimes less is more. You know, sometimes when people go overboard with seasonings and stuff, it just ruins it. Whereas this, you're just getting mainly steak. Now, as far as the pepper goes, I guess maybe that's in the bread. But that's mainly where I would say that the pepper comes in. Because, well, there might be a tiny bit of heat to it. Just a little bit. But it looks amazing. And like I said, it's super meaty. If I'm going to eat something like this is exactly how I'd want it to be. And this is perfect. And that puff pastry on the outside. It's light, it's airy, crispy. It's right. Let me go grab a napkin real quick. Okay. Now that I'm letting it kind of, I guess, marinate and season, I'm picking up a little more on the seasoning. I mean, there is a pepper there, but it's not predominant, and I think anybody could eat this. Like, I don't think anybody, even if you didn't like pepper, I don't think this would bother you. Because I don't think it doesn't really taste like pepper. It just, I don't know how to describe. It's just like barely there. And that is real. I guess this is like a minced meat pie, right? Because that's what that meat is minced. But I got to at least finish this bite. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have anything like that here. I need to do like a gas station food thing for my international buddies and show them what we got. Like Speedway's got those what are they called, rollers that set on that thing that's like supposed to cook hot dogs. They have like chicken. They have a buffalo chicken one. There's a steak one, steak and cheese, which is, I can't remember if it was any good or not. I just recently ate some of them within the past couple months, I would say. I wasn't impressed with any of them. Like, they were, I don't know, not good. They weren't horrible, but you know, because I did eat them, I finished them, but they weren't what you think they. I mean, they weren't what they could be. Like, just a little bump up in quality, and they would be decent. But instead, they use like the worst quality crap that they can find, which kind of sucks. Germs you can't pick. They're all good. All right, I'm gonna move this. Obviously, I'm gonna have to heat that back up, which that won't be a problem, because that's what it's meant to be, is heated up. But I'm not gonna leave it set right there because I'm afraid the dog or cat will get it while I got my back turned. All right, let's get a cross section on this. Oh, look at that. Would you just look at it? Look at it. I love me some Ed Bassmaster. Love that guy. He's funny. All right. I don't know if I should pick that. Yeah, I guess I can. Finger food it. So this is like a sponge cake dipped in chocolate and then dusted with like some dry coconut. It just smells kind of like a vanilla cake. All right. I've been looking forward to trying this. This looks really friggin' awesome. So dessert. Australian dessert. Down the hatch. Mmm. Oh, I really like that. Again, very subtle with the flavors. Pick up vanilla. My first thought was it's going to be like a coconut texture. It's, what would that remind me of? I don't know what that reminds me of. It's not really like that though. I guess where it's so small, maybe. Mm. You know those little red, what are those things called? They're strawberry, I think. That are covered in coconut like that. What are those lunch cakes called? Mm-mm. No, they're red. They're long, like a Twinkie. Do you know what I'm talking about, Amber? No. Somebody probably knows what I'm talking about. Zinger? Is it? No, those are chocolate.
Zingers are raspberry. They're pinkish red.
Are you sure?
This cake looks like a Twinkie.
Uh-huh.
It's a zinger.
Huh. Okay, so maybe they're called zingers. I thought that in my head, and I was like, no, zingers are the ones that have like that thick chocolate icing on the top, like the kind of chocolate icing you can peel off with your fingers. It's kind of not really icing, but they call it icing. But that texture, that's kind of what it reminds me of, except this is much better. This is smaller. It's just overall easy to eat as well. Now, I'm not really picking up on the chocolate. Wait a minute. Maybe I am. I really had to try for it, though. When I took the bite, I left the chocolate side down towards my tongue and like rub my tongue over it, and I can pick up a little bit of the chocolate flavoring. Like I said, it's very subtle, but this would be a good anytime snack if you were craving something. See, snowballs, I think the coconut's considerably bigger, and on the zingers as well. But this, I can't really think of anything else that I've had that's like this. Maybe like a homemade cake that somebody made during the holiday, or like at a funeral or something like that, maybe. But nothing that stands out in my head. Huh. Some of the chocolate, like outside, just fell off. Let me just try that. All right, I gotta go put these pies up real quick. Amber, do you want to try this? By the way, this is the type of bags that it comes in, like I guess seal yourself freezer bag type stuff. Heat 35 minutes on 350 from frozen. Well, I surely didn't do that. Oh, from frozen, where I had it thawed. I think I put it in there for about 8 minutes before the timer went off. Then I let it set in the hot oven after that for, I don't know how long it was, a few minutes. All right, I gotta have another. I'm cutting another piece of this. This is better than. It's not better than I expected. I expected it to be good. I just didn't really know what I expected it to taste like. Dan said they also do these and do like a layer of jam in them, which I could really see that kicking this up a considerable notch, having some fruit flavoring in there. I mean, that does look like a kind of like a lunch cake, doesn't it? Which, I mean, I don't know if they're usually this size, if this is the standard size for a Lamington. It's been a long time since I had a zinger, but I was a fan of zingers as well. Oops. Yeah, those ain't gonna last very long. Luckily, I got 4 more. He sent me 6 of those. 6 of those 3 meat pies and 2 sausage rolls. I'm very thankful for everything that he sent me. Okay. Now, these Amazon packages that I don't know who they're from, I don't really know what to do about those. We'll start with this one. Yep. Okay, this one came from Canada. This is something I ordered. I have not opened it, so I don't know, like, really what the condition is or anything like that. Really, I paid about, in my opinion, what market value should be on this. I didn't overpay for it, and I surely didn't underpay for it either. Let's take a look, because I've actually already got one of these, but the one that I have is missing parts, and you'll see what I mean. They did a good job wrapping it up, thank goodness. Sometimes you never know. Okay, cool. Well, that looks really good. So I'm missing all that. I'm missing the can opener and the handles. So this thing is meant to set up so you can boil water, put them handles on it, or cook in it. And it's key open. And where's the key? I thought there was a key on there. Maybe not. Huh. It says to open the other end. It does maybe have a bulge to it. Doesn't appear to on the sides. The tape is still intact, and that does look like the original tape, which is not, I wouldn't say, it's not common, but it's not uncommon either. It's just, you know, these, I'd say 50% of these still have the parts. The other 50% do not. The one that I have, I'll go grab it. Only take me a second. I know right where it's at. Okay. Look where the key was sitting on top of it. Anyway. Dust. Mine's actually not in as good a shape. Actually, mine's probably in better shape, to be quite honest. After looking at the bottoms here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this one is, it certainly looks bulged on the bottom right here. The can overall, though, this one appears to be in better shape. Now, I don't know if they cleaned this with something, because it does look pretty scuffed. See that? Whereas mine, you can see, like it kind of looks like they went through and sanded the rust off of it or something, or took a Dremel tool and cleaned it up. But mine is actually sunken in, which is what you want to see. So the vacuum to this can is still there and still exists. The middle of this is sucked in, and you can see there's no bulging at all. Literally none at all. I have a strong feeling that this 1959 Food Packet Survival Canadian is probably still fully edible. Whereas this one, although it has all of its parts still, so you can even kind of tell with the lines, the way the lines are on them, which is kind of weird. I guess that was the metal must have been on a roll, and that's why it's got those scores in it, so that it could be rolled up. I suppose. I don't know why it would be like that. Ooh, excuse me. But it's on both sides, so they're both 1959. Oh, man. I thought I lost it. Key. That one's even kind of... This one's never been lifted at all. You can tell. This one has kind of been lifted, which might have compromised that seal a little bit. I doubt it. You know, it's probably just seen some heat. Anyway, kind of cool. I like the fact that it's still got the can opener and the handles. Maybe I will review this and take the handles and can opener and open this one and keep this one for display. Unless I screw the video up, and then I'll have to open that one as well. Because it happens. Ish happens. Okay. Set these off to the side. Set these off over to the side. Okay. Get up, cat. This one. This is going to be a good one. This is also something I bought. I do not know. Hang on, let me look at this box, see how it's supposed to open. Okay, I think I cut down through here. And then I don't know. They duct taped it, all right. Not real sure. There we go. That's what I thought. Wasn't sure though. There we go. Really, they double addressed me. I only covered up one of them. Awesome. Oh, this is interesting. What in the holy... Alright, this is the first. So, I guess these people decided to use their hamster bedding as packaging. What the heck? I'm in shock a little bit because I've never seen this before. This is not Yeah, it's a very interesting choice for packaging. I've never seen anyone think that this was a good idea. I guess it kind of works. I mean, kind of. I don't know. This just seems dirty. Like I feel like they recycled out of their hamster cage or something. Uh, I, I again, I'm a little bit in shock here. So you never know what you're gonna get when you buy from some random stranger on the internet. You know what I mean? I just, I guess you could have some good fire tender here for starting fires. Ay ay ay. It. I thought it's not really cedar chips though, because if it is, I can't smell them. Yeah, it is. Never mind. Stuck my nose in there. Definitely is. All right. So now, as far as this goes, I feel like I did okay on this. I don't like the way that tab's looking right there. Not at all. Like it's been bent backwards. But outside of that, all right, I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going any further with that. Just put the lid back down and get rid of that. Oh. There we go. I would say that's a good sign. I mean, it feels very loose. There's no bloating to it whatsoever. It feels like if you had a deck of cards and there was the box to the cards was just a little bit bigger than the cards. If you shook, that's what that sounds like. That's what it feels like too. Well, you know what? I don't know, man. That's a bad sign. I feel like. G. Schultz is in the chat. Maybe he has an opinion on that. Maybe G. Schultz has an opinion on that. I think it keeps kicking me out because I'm plugged in. I'm going to unplug and hopefully not run out of battery. But I have been wanting these for a very long time. So, interestingly enough, this says 1969 and this says 1963. Huh. Now it's missing the P38. This should be on there. And well, I mean, there's no spot where there was a key. I can't remember if this, I think it only came with a P38. But it looks to be in actually impeccable condition. It has that weird coating on the outside. See, that's just a place where the coating is missing or never was. It's got like, I don't know what that coating is. Like that, it's on top of the gold coating. It's on all the those little Canadian World War II Canadian survival rations with the biscuits in them, the little chocolate tablets and stuff. The one where Steve's video was like oldest chocolate ever eaten, I think was the title of that or something like that. It's the one that really, I think it might have been the first one that really took off for Steve, if I'm not mistaken. But I have the big can that those rations actually came in. They came 12 in a can, I believe, and they also came with 6 cans of water and another packet of survival food, which I don't have that packet. because it was in plastic, and I guess it broke down, deteriorated, and whoever had that can years ago ended up tossing it out, which I wish they wouldn't have. I wish they'd have just let it decay or put it in another bag and kept it with it. But anyways, I have a very, very interesting ration that I don't know. There's not very many exist. I've only ever seen one other one on, I think I saw it on eBay. I saw it sell a few years ago, but it never resurfaced after that, so it went into someone's collection. It won't, probably won't see the light of day again. So, yeah. This is one I've been wanting to try for years, though. And the reason why is because this is the only survival ration that I know of that comes with meat. Like, this is pretty much a whole can of meat. Like, that's pretty much all that is. Meat bars. Uh-oh. Bourbon Street Joe sent G. Schultz a box. I knew you did that, but it showed up damaged, huh? That sucks. So far, this is what we got. This is stuff, I have ideas for these that I'm going to try very hard to shoot a video with these. I need to get back in the groove, but I have been I've been changing my mindset on that, and I really want to get into it, but I'm not going to say I am or not. I'm just going to have to do it, so I'm not going to talk about it. All right, I got one more package of my own that I can't put this one up here because it's got my address on it. All right, I'll set it right here and cut it open. This is the stuff. This is what I bought. I bought this from Saltycroccollectibles. What did I win? I won. Oh, hey, look at that. Huh, that just fell out. Look at that. That's going to go on the wall. What is that noise? I knew it was her. I just didn't know what she was doing. Oh. Vince, buddy, you almost got me to cut that one, too. It's a smaller one, and it was stuck to the tape on the inside of the box, so messed it up right there a little bit. There he is, Saltycroccollectibles on eBay. Oh, here we go. Another one fell out the other side. That's a magnet. Hey, look at that. Cool. Did I get them all? I think he probably forgot to put those in there and then slid them in on the top flaps of the box, like cut it open and slid them in. And that's what, I'm going to guess that's how those ended up where they ended up. So I almost cut them. All right. Now, this is a pretty big deal, in my opinion, what we got going on here. Got some cool stuff that I bought from him. And he went with the packing peanut route, which I must have a lot of static going on right now. Oh man, boy, do I got a story for you guys. You guys want to hang around till the end, because I got something I want to talk to you guys about, tell you guys about. Something really, really, really interesting happened the other night. And it wasn't just me. My son actually was with me, so. All right, let me move this box. Okay. Huh. I'm going to guess that's not what that is, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's probably, I think, we'll see. There's that. No, well, maybe. I don't know what's in there. I don't know. Huh. And here's this. Oh, okay. That may be it. I don't know. I bought a can of soup. Alright, let's see what this is. Okay. There we go. So, check this out. Trail Pack brand. Spaghetti with meat sauce dinner. I had never seen one of these before. And there it is. Made by Trail Pack, I guess. Civilian. Can you make that cat shut up, please? Run her off, give her a treat, do something. Okay, so I guess we have a list. Is there a list of ingredients here? Or what we have? Okay. It's got the spaghetti. It's got a little white loaf of bread. Apple cobbler. And is that it? No way that's it. No way, not from feeling it. Like, I don't know. This is a weird one. And I'm going to guess it's probably from the 90s. I don't see a date code on it anywhere. Stamped in it. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe he had a roundabout date for it in the description. I can't remember. Anyways. Stella, jeez. Why she's barking like that? If this is what I think it is, like, I don't know how I expected something completely different. All right, we'll look at that here in a second. First, I'm pretty proud to be adding this to my collection. Look at that. I need to fix that flap. So this pack right here, I think is 1939. This pack, and I'm not sure about the other pack. There might be a date on it somewhere. So this is made in London. Wrigley's Sales Limited, London, made in Great Britain. Interesting. And then the other one is too. Sweetens the breath. And on this side it says the flavor that lasts. For chewing only. And there's 6 pieces instead of 5. So I don't know when they went to 5 pieces, but most packs I've ever seen were 5 pieces. So these, let me look real quick and see what the year was on them. And then we got these Wrigley's PK here, and also this Wrigley Spearmint. I wasn't even supposed to get those. He sent these as like a bonus, as far as I know. I don't think we discussed anything about getting these. And these are like chiclet style gum. Just like you get in a ration. These might have came from a ration, for all I know. Are these also from Britain? So that's 4 pieces, and 5 pieces. What does it say? Yep, London. Sydney. You see that? Wait, it's upside down. Look at that. Australia. And this one is also London. This one's really clean. The 5-pack. 5-piece pack. Okay. Real quick, let me look at this gum. My eBay history. Well, forgot he combined that order, so he had to end the gum. So unless I put it on my watch list, I don't have that listing. Nope. Wait, yep. Well, I got the red kettle, which is the same type of soup that we tried up in Michigan. I cannot remember their names on the TV show, though, when we did Eating History. Alright, I guess I don't have it. But it was either like, I think it was from the 30s. I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a great addition to the candy collection, and I am going to try whichever one the oldest one is. I think it's the bottom one. I think that's the oldest one, just judging by the packaging alone. I could be wrong about that. Maybe the simpler packaging up here is the older of the two, but I'd say it's probably this one. Alright, it might be one of these. I don't know. Alright. Let's check this out. Yes. Look at that. Noodle with real beef stock. Red kettle. This is freeze-dried soup. Love the way it opens, too. Spiral cut. Pull top. This was 19 cents, I suppose. It's stamped right on it. Lift and pull. This, I want to say from the 50s or 60s, maybe. I can't remember. I'll have to do my research on this one. There's no date or anything like that on it, obviously. These actually came in a box, too, so this is loose from the box. But as far as I know, they all came in a box, the red kettles. They had single and double boxes that I've seen. But what's the instructions say? How long you cook this? Empty 1 can of soup, mix into a saucepan, add 7 cans, 4 measuring cups of water, bring to a boil, simmer 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. So bring it to a boil, stir it for 4 minutes, makes 4 to 5 servings. That's a lot of soup for such a tiny can. And you're not going to get much noodle with that, obviously. That will be a fun one. I'm actually probably going to review that one, too. I'll still have a cool can left afterwards that I can put, I don't know what in. Fashion a top for it. So this has to be the big item. And this is not what I expect. I expected this to be about like that. I expected it to be bigger than this box. Like, I expected it to be about that big. About like that. Right here. I guess really about with that flap up. And about that wide. That's about what I expected this to look like. And it is tiny. And very expensive. And very rare. This is menu 9. This is a sock ration. Vietnam era sock ration. Supposedly CIA used them, but it's pink. It's definitely pink. That foil, it's one of those, it's like lined foil with, it's got that pink lined paper stuff on the inside, I guarantee it. And that's why it looks like this. But it weighs, I mean, maybe 4.5, 5 ounces if I was to guess. Maybe 6, I doubt it. It's maybe not even that. Yeah, I'd say probably 4 ounces. And they would put those in those long green tube socks. But one, I think, sold for 300 and something, 330-ish. And the other one, I think, I want to say sold for like 285, something like that. And I think I ended up giving him 3 for this one. I'd have to check. Something like that. But, yep. I would expect to see one of these end up on YouTube soon. If not mine, then someone else that got one will probably it'll end up on YouTube, I would think. And I know Steve had one or a couple of these at one point. I don't know when he'll get around to doing that, but I know that could possibly happen from him as well. Now, these Amazon packages. Did anybody fess up to the Amazon packages? So this is everything, which you guys know what's in there. That's everything I got from Saltycroccollectibles. Like I said, I really need to check his inventory and see what he's got going on. Alright, cat. Oh my gosh, this cat is really, really getting on my last nerve. Yeah, you're annoying. You are. Here. Well, hang on. You can say hello to everybody. Here. Say hi. That cat that you hear in the background, she's getting fixed next week. So, yeah. Sst. What? No, you're not getting on the table. That's just too expensive for you to be down there. What? What? Okay, anybody fess up to the Amazon packages? A Landlord's package? There's 2. Is there 2 of them from a Landlord? Yep, I sent. Oh, okay. Okay. So a Landlord sent both Amazon packages. This one and this one. Okay. A Landlord. Landlord's got a channel. It's in my description. Should be. I think I put the full description thing in this video. I haven't been doing that. I've been just not adding a full description out, but okay. Message you later. I saw that, just so you know, I saw that. That's actually pretty heavy, man. It doesn't have a weight on it. I'm going to guess this has to be 90s. Maybe it could be early 2000s. I don't know. But if there's only spaghetti, bread, and apple cobbler in there, that's kind of weird. I just don't imagine that being the only things in there. Maybe it is, though. Apple cobbler. When did they start making that which it ain't apple, is it? What kind of cobbler did they start making? It's been a while since I had any of that. Okay, so I'll open the bottom. Couldn't decide where I wanted to open it. Yeah, I've been spending some of that Patreon money on all that finery back there. What do we got here? What is this? Okay. To help you with your water from a Landlord. Oh, look at that. Huh. Send a thank you note. Oh, cool. I can send a... Well, I guess I don't need to since I'm doing it live. Is this a description? Golden Deer water dispenser for 5-gallon bottles. Oh, yeah. I got some of them in my basement that aren't busted either, because they have been in the cold. But I was just in my basement, but they're nasty. They are dirty. Well, they've been submerged. My basement was flooded about 3.5, 4 feet deep with water at one point. Now, it's not really a basement. It's a... I mean, it kind of... you can't get to it from inside my house. You have to go outside, and it's underneath the back porch. I guess I could take you guys down there sometime. But it's... the stuff that is down there, or whatever... It's not real. There's not really anything down there. Just junk and trash that the other people left down there, and it is decayed because of it flooding so bad, and there not being a functional pump down there for a long time. And then, not long before my landlord passed away, like months before he passed away, he installed that pump in my basement. And it has been functioning ever since. Now, I just went down there 2 nights ago, and I don't talk about it much. But where I had that injury, I wasn't able to do the tasks needed to be completed outside. I have been working a little bit on the outside of my house, what I can do. Well, I went down in the basement a couple of nights ago, and I found his glasses. Now, obviously, they didn't look like this when I found them. They were covered in mud. But I picked them up, and I was like, huh, I wonder if that's like a cheap pair of glasses like my kids got. Like, like you buy at Walmart, but the lenses aren't really glasses or whatever. Like, it's just clear. No. These were actually his glasses. I'm sure he looked for these. Because look at the prescription here. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, them suckers are strong. That's how far you got to get away for it to focus on that camera. Look at that. Right there, it starts getting blurry. Real blurry. Extremely blurry. Anyway, does that mean farsighted? Is that what that means? I don't know what that means. I don't know how glasses work. Oh, yeah, don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down or whatever. Comment after this is uploaded. Comment if you're watching. Blah, blah, blah. Do your thing. Oh, it's electric. It's got buttons. Tap the smart electric pump. Tap. Oh, I think it means tap the smart electric pump. Should have been a period there and a capital T. High quality life. Charging time about 3 hours. Working voltage, blah, blah, blah. Please charge the product for 3 hours before using it. This product is suitable for Android USB power supply. Oh, okay. This product is strictly prohibited from dry pumping. It is strictly forbidden to pump hot water, alcohol, oil, alcohol, oil, or is there alcohol oil? Is that a thing? I don't think so. Wouldn't it just evaporate? And other corrosive liquids. Warning, this machine cannot be washed. So is it a one-time use then? China. It's made in China. It's wrapped in foam. When I first saw it, I was like, what is it? It looks like something else. One of those massager things. Or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Yep, okay, so I see how that works. That plops right down onto the top. Rechargeable, continuous use. So, 600 mils. That's... So you press that button, and it just pumps it out. You got all your tubes that are going to go down in there, and a cord. Red light flashes when it's charged. Red light is long on full charge. When water continues to flow, the white light is long. The white light flickers when the water is measured. Oh, okay. It means it's got the 600 mils then, probably. Steps for usage. Press the water key to get out of the water. 90 seconds automatic stop. Just press 600 ml water outlet key to quantitatively release about 600 milliliters of water. But what if you don't have a 600 milliliter cup? Do you just press it, pump it, and then stop it? Dry pumping, is that anything like... That's what she said. That's what I was thinking. I was like, G. Schultz, that's what she said. Dry pumping. Yikes. Wait, that can't be right, right? Wait, maybe. Is that how... I think that's how it was in there. Alright, now I gotta get some clean bottles of water. Thank you, Landlord, for the pump, and I will put that to use. We were just talking about buying one of those, what are they called, stands or whatever, like dispensers for those 5-gallon jugs that you got to flip them over upside down. That way you leave them setting up straight up and just set it on the counter, I assume. Or, so that isn't in there, fell out. Water jug caps. Food grade silicone. Oh, wait. Wait, how does, what? I mean, these are for those, for the same jugs. Because we have been, we have to give bottled water to our dog now. I've been giving it to the cats for a long time, but the cats don't drink nowhere near as much water as the dog. The dog is going through about, she goes through about 2 gallons every 2 days, 3 days maybe. About 2 gallons about every 3 days. And that's getting expensive, man. Like, it's going to add up. All right, I got to read what this is all about. Actually, Orlando, if you can tell me, is this supposed to be in conjunction with this? It seems like this, I don't know. I know I can get those jugs, or I have some of those jugs. I can have my buddy pick them up from work, where I used to work at, too. Okay. I've never taken one of the caps all the way off. The only thing I've ever done is pull the top on them, and I have, like, taken the plastic off on the bottom part right there, like, peeled it. It's kind of like a peel, and ripped it off. But that's all I've ever done with those water jugs before. It's a just-in-case backup. All in case one of the tops on one of the jugs messes up, because that happens, I assume. Because I've never consistently used those except at work. And at work, well, on the towboats, we had one of those dispensers, and we would use the 5-gallon jugs of water, and we'd bring one down twice a month. I did not drink water back then. I only drank soda. So I was like, I don't freaking drink that crap. Somebody else carry it down here, because you had to carry it usually 2 of those 5-gallon jugs from the parking lot all the way down to the boat, which was no small feat. In case the ones you get won't fit, or if you can refill them from a safe source. Oh, yeah, our Walmart does that. I believe they do the 5 gallons. I know they do gallon jugs. I don't know if they do. I would assume that they do the 5 gallons. We also have a water delivery guy that goes to our neighbors next door. I see him occasionally. I don't know how often he makes that trip over there, but especially now that I think, oh, I'm not going to say that. There's less people living there. So, you know, the neighbor kids, one of them got married and the other one moved to Pennsylvania. So they're 20, probably like 26 now, something like that, I would say. 25 maybe. 24. Probably 24. Because I think they were in high school at the same time as my son was in high school, my oldest son, I think. Okay. So, yeah, I'll message you here in a little bit. Thank you for thinking about me, man. I definitely have water issues. There is no doubt about that. And I thought about becoming the mayor of my town and trying to fix it. But my little town got a grant for $33 million about, I'm going to say, 5-6 years ago to redo and fix the water. And they only spent about 23 million of it. And they messed the water up. So, I don't know. Hang on. All right. But anyways, I was actually thinking about trying to become the mayor and see what I could do about fixing our water issues here. We had water issues before the East Palestine thing happened. Now, we have even worse water issues because our water was horrible anyway. But I gave it to the dog, which is probably not good. It's probably hurting her. But I gave it to her. And now, I won't even give it to her. Those things are heavy. Dense. But they don't feel heavy to eat. They're nice and light. Alright, cool deal. So the last 2 packages that I have, one is LC's and one is from Chrysler. Right here. This is what we've been giving the dog. Gallon jugs. This just started though. She was buying these other gallon jugs from Dollar General and they were like $2 something a piece. And I was like, Amber, you can get the gallon jugs at Walmart cheaper than that. I was pretty sure of it. But these are running like $1.12, I think, is what we're paying for these. So I mean, it's only $2.24 every 3 days. So, let's see, every 3 days, that's 10 times a month. It's about $21, $22 a month is what we're spending just on her water. But we also feed her human food. We do not feed her dog food. Her food is chicken, and rice. And she also eats corned beef hash sometimes, but she eats human food. She doesn't eat dog food anymore. And her, that's costing us, each can of chicken breaks down to $2.50, because we buy 4 cans for $10, unless it's went up, because it was 4 for $10. Walmart brand canned chicken. They're pretty big cans. I mean, they're like that tall. They're pretty sizable cans. Then we also buy boxes of instant rice. The boxes of instant rice, the biggest box that we can buy, lasts us, let's see, 2, 4, 6. I think it lasts 7 days. I think it's a week. And I think that's like $4, something like that. So it's like 50 cents a day for the rice, and $2.50 a day for the can of chicken. So that's $3 a day. Then plus her water, and then that's less than $1 a day. But her food and water is like $5 a day, which doesn't sound like much. But I mean, that's $150 a month. And then on top of that, Amber has a really, really horrible habit of giving her dog treats as soon as she gets home and in the morning before she leaves for work. And those dog treats, oh God, I've got poison sumac all over my body. You see that on the back of my arm? It's all through here. Oh, it feels so good to itch. I can't. Oh, I need that anti-itch cream. I need to go get it. Oh. Yep, that's going to drive me crazy because I dug into it, and now I can't stop. Oh, I don't have any calamine lotion. All I got is cortisone. I should have some calamine lotion. If I do, I don't know where it's at. Be right back. I'm getting the cortisone. Whew. Okay. Here we go. Super old bottled cortisone. We don't ever use this stuff. Oh, God. It's like, I don't know. This stuff is awful. It is the same stuff that was out there in my garage that literally just brushed my face one time, and like I knew the leaf brushed my face, and within an hour I had a perfect line of poison on my face. About like what I have right here now, except this one went all the way. It's before I kept a beard. So it's been a few years ago. 10, 15 years ago, I don't know. Yeah, no, probably 10 years ago. Because I stopped shaving 7 years ago when I got hurt. I have it under my beard. I don't know how that happened. On both sides. Under here, it's just... whoa. Yeah, I mean, it's driving me nuts. It's so itchy. So itchy. I assume it's poison sumac because it's definitely not poison oak. And it's definitely not poison ivy. Poison sumac is the only other thing that I know of. If there's something else, then I don't know what it is. This old man that came and cut my tree down when we were out there, he's like, "Oh yeah, these is wild grapes," and he was eating them. I was like, "Dude, that's the stuff that grows off the poison in my backyard." I was like, "That is not. I'm pretty sure that's not grapes." He's like, "Oh yeah, they are." Give me a hand. He's like, "Here, you eat some of them." And I was like, "No, dude, I ain't eating them." I was like, "I ain't eating them." So, I don't know, but I know I'm like 90% sure those stupid things were growing directly off of this plant that well, it's like more like a tree now that has grown. It is an ivy of some kind because it has grown to my garage, like the whole other side of my garage, not the back side, but the side towards the river, is almost covered with this crap. And my shed out front, it was covered in some sort of vines. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't that. But on this side, there was a pretty sizable chunk of that. And where that stuff had grown to my shed out there, that's the only spot that decayed and it rusted my little metal shed out there. It's the only spot that there was any like harm to the shed. The rest of the stuff that had grown to the shed, I pulled it off and the shed was perfect underneath. That spot rusted and like pretty bad, honestly. And it hadn't been on it. I'd say it probably been on there. It'd probably been growing like 2-3 years. Because like I said, I hadn't been able to get any of that stuff done, and my kids and nobody was taking care of the stuff. Everything I used to take care of before I got hurt just stopped. Everything. And there was nobody put forth any effort to pick up on all the stuff that I took care of. So basically, I watched my life falling apart around me. That's pretty much what happened, how it went. I'm not complaining. I'm alive. Maybe I'm complaining a little bit. Like, I feel like roles reversed. Obviously, I would not do that. If something like that goes down with someone in my family, I'm going to do what I can. I'm certainly going to cover everything they were doing and everything I was doing. Like, I mean, if he was already doing it, like I was already doing all that crap, my 2 able-bodied teenage sons, you'd think they can handle it. But they also needed mom to be telling them what to do, and that wasn't happening. So, anyway. Alright, I'm moving you, cat. Yeah. So now, basically, I should have some package-ish from CT. We've got Mike, we've got LC, and I think that's it. And then I've got the stuff that Landlord just sent there, and I will be putting that to use probably within the next, maybe tomorrow. I have to go down the road and pick up prescriptions anyway, so I'll just go ahead and pick up a brand new fresh bottle, 5-gallon bottle, and yeah. I've been buying cases of water, and I'm not an environmentalist or anything, but I will say that plastic and the plastic, if you think about it, let me plant the seed in your head. If you think about plastic and how awful it is for the planet, and if you don't recycle it and it ends up in a landfill, then it ends up in the ocean. Then in the ocean, it starts breaking down into these microplastics that everyone's consuming, and it's just everywhere. Like how bad we are about these plastics, and I'm guilty. Every time I finish a bottle of water and I crush it and throw it in the trash can, I'm like, I hate this. I hate it. And I don't have very many options here with not having water. It's either that or stop drinking water. And then what? Then I'm going to drink soda. And then what? Soda come in plastic bottles. I'll stick with the water. Anyway. Winfield Classic. Australian cigarette. Yeah. I'm not even going to say it on this live stream. I'm just going to say I'm working on this. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about crap anymore. I just need to do. I'm going to make action instead of talk about anything. Wasn't sure if I should do it with a lighter or not. Man, my beard, the gray, I don't like it. There's something on my lip right there too. Probably poison. I mean, I know it's there. If I touch it, it'll drive me crazy and itch. All right. I told you, if you hung around to the end, I'd tell you this. How do I want to phrase this? I will tell you what happened to me. Not really. Yeah, I guess kind of to me. Anyway, I'll tell you what happened Monday. It was Monday. Monday night. Last night was Wednesday night. Tuesday night. Might have been Tuesday night. Pretty sure it was Monday night. Anyway. So, my cable went out. My cable, internet, all that. So, when that happens, I live in a brick home. My cell phone doesn't really work in here. But if I walk right out my door, it works just fine. I mean, I get 4 bars and good service. So I walk out the back door, and I'm going to call Suddenlink, which is now Optimum, which sucks. My services went way downhill. There's supposed to be a class action lawsuit coming, and definitely lots of complaints. Anyway, it says VP250 on it. It's a Winfield Classic. It says VP250 on it right there. You're not going to be able to see that. Maybe you can, kind of. Light's a little extreme and it's blurry, but anyway. I don't understand that. I will say these are good cigarettes. These kind of remind me of what Marlboros used to taste like. They're just decent quality, smooth, strong. They don't have like a weird chemical taste or flavor, no weird throat feel. They're nice. Very expensive. Very expensive. I seen a TikTok of an Australian guy explaining the problem he has with them banning cigarettes and doing what they've done to cigarettes versus now they just let everybody vape and vapes are everywhere. Like it's a pretty good video. I can't pull it up because I don't have TikTok on this phone, but look up Australian guy talks about vapes and you'll find it. Like you'll find it, and he really good. Like guy's kind of oozing machismo. He's a man's man, and he's Australian, which makes it even better. So, because the accent, all Americans love an Australian accent. We love it. Sometimes we won't admit it, but we all like it. Anyway, so I walk out my back door. As soon as I walked out my back door, I'm messing with my phone and trying to call Suddenlink or Optimum. And I'm looking over that way. And I see this really bright light. And I'm like, man, it'd be cool if I seen a UFO tonight. I think that's what I'm thinking in my head. And I guess I really didn't think much of it. I just kept an eye on what was going on over there. So I watched this light up really bright and then kind of dim, and it kind of went like I'm looking over this way, and it kind of came at me and to the right a little bit, and it's lighting up the whole time, and it's kind of, I can see that it's kind of curving back around and then going back the same direction it came. I can see that. And then I see another one right behind it, and I'm like, ooh, that's weird. Like, there's no airports for anything to be landing or anything like that over there. So I watch that, and I watch it for about 5 minutes while I'm trying to make this phone call, and I get Suddenlink on the phone, well, Optimum, and there's an outage in my area, and I find that out. And I watch this whole time, and they go completely dark, and then they'll light back up, and I see them, and they're circling. They're literally circling like this. I'm like, well, that's really weird, okay? It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. It may have been 3 o'clock in the morning. So I watch it for about 5 minutes, like I said, and I was like, this is freaking nuts. I got to go get Ethan. So I come in. I knew he was still up. I come in. I was like, Ethan, come here, dude. You gotta see this. So he comes outside, and I'm like, dude, watch over there. And he's like, what? Because you couldn't see anything. I'm like, watch. You're gonna see these lights, dude, and they're like making these weird circles. And he's like, all right, and he's watching, and we see it, and it's not consistent the way they light up either. Like, look, aircraft lights are consistent. Period. End of story. They either flash or they're on constant. That's it. They don't brighten up and then dim. That doesn't happen unless it's a directional thing. Okay, like if something's pointing right at you and it has its light on, it's going to be bright. And then if it veers off, it'll look like it's dimming, but it's not really. It's just the direction and your views. Yeah, no, wait, Spicy, because what I've told you so far is very mundane, okay? Like, even in my experiences with what things that I've seen, I have a little bit of a hard time talking about it because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, this guy sees crap in the sky all the time. Yes, I do. I look up a lot, but I've been seeing things in the sky since 2007. First time I had a really, really predominant experience was 2007, and that was the most prolific experience I ever had was back then, because I watched 3 silver balls in the sky sit still for over an hour as I drove to work, and right before I got to work, I stopped at the gas station 3 miles before my work, told the gas station attendant about it, pointed out the window. There's a great big, like, huge bay window, no, just wide open. Pointed them out to her. You could see power lines, so you could tell they weren't moving. You could base it off the power lines, and you could see that they were not moving. And underneath of 2 of them, there was a pigtail, like this, straight down, of smoke. Literally a spiral that came to a point, like this, smaller, 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 underneath 2 of them. As I pointed this out, and she's like, what is that? We were both watching it, because I was pointing it out to her. We watched one of them go and take off, and that smoke went and gone. The other 2 didn't move. Crazy, and she freaked out so much that she ran outside. She's like, what the hell is that? Oh my God. I was like, I don't know. I've been watching it for an hour on my way to work. I don't know what it is. Anyway, that was the first craziest experience that I've had, and I've had a lot since then that I would classify as, I mean, there's no other way to explain them. And luckily I had my older son with me a few years ago. It was right after my pilot died, about a year after my pilot died, so probably like 2019, when we saw this, me and my older son. But anyways, so me and Ethan are watching those lights, and I'm standing like all the way to the corner, right on my steps where I do live streams out there. Sometimes I'll start a live stream out there, and I'm standing on the steps, and you can see behind me. Well, I'm standing there, and he's like standing on the porch, so a lot of the sky's blocked for him because of the roof of the porch. I watched this other light come from out of the heavens, came from out of like the atmosphere, way up there. You could tell just by looking at it how up there it was. I watched it come in, bright as, I mean, like a shooting star is not even as, this was bright. It lit the sky up. I watched it come falling right towards those other two lights. Stop. And light up even brighter and stayed there. And Ethan starts freaking out. Like I'm yelling, "Holy crap, do you see that falling in? Do you see that falling?" And he's like, and about that time it got into his eyesight. He's like, "Yeah, I see it. And it's falling and it stops." He goes, "Oh my God, what is that?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude." It joined the other two. That point on, there were three going in this circle. It did it for over an hour. We stood out there and watched it for over an hour. We do have film of it. So, before that fell out of the sky, I thought, like, maybe some crazy people were outside flying drones at 3 o'clock in the morning. No maybe they're just like, they're worried about FFA restrictions. I don't know what, I don't know what's going through my head. I'm like, maybe that could be it. And they're just like lighting up, like the lights on the drones are lighting up and they're doing it. But when I saw that thing fall out of the sky from the atmosphere, like it looked like it entered the atmosphere. I didn't see it burn through the atmosphere, but I saw it come from way up. I saw it fall for about, I'm going to say, in between 3 and 5 seconds. Can't tell you exactly how long it was. And you guys are going to hate me when I tell you what I was doing at the time. Because I had this device that you're watching me on right now. This phone. And as you guys know, I've never been an Apple guy. I've had Samsungs almost my entire like phone owning history. So as this fell in, I had my camera up. I had it on photo. I took a photo when I thought I hit record, and that's it. That's all I got. Came in the house, pulled it up. I'm like, I hit it. I didn't see like the little play thing on it. I'm like, why ain't this playing? And Ethan's like, you had it on camera the whole time. I'm like, no way. I didn't get nothing. I didn't get none of it. Because I don't know I'm an idiot. I didn't know how to use a cell phone. I think I was distracted to a certain extent. I was looking back at I would look back at my phone and like see if I was getting anything, which it was hard to see on the screen of the phone. But it was there. And I figured with some contrast and some editing and with contrast, you might actually really be able to see it. And well, I'm an idiot. Had I had it on camera, on video, and had I been taking video, I think it might have looked a lot better. Like, I think it probably would have picked up a lot different. It would have been more low light. The aperture would have opened up, whatever. So I really missed a huge opportunity to show this thing falling out of the sky at an incredible speed. And I can't even guess. I would say we're talking thousands of miles per hour. I mean, look, it looked like it covered from the atmosphere to, I'm going to say those were probably flying at between 10 and 15,000 feet, because they were just over the tree line, like just over the tree line over there. Because they were flying, like there's a valley over there. There's a mountain, well, not a mountain, but a hill that comes over this way, and then it drops down, and then it comes back up. And about right here on that hill, there's a cell tower that flashes red, and then it comes over and drops down, and then over here it comes back up to another hill. So in this valley, they were right in that valley. And they stayed in that valley the entire time. They'd come out, and then kind of circle back in, and they'd light up. And we have, from Ethan's camera, we have 6 minutes of footage. I watched a little bit of it with him. I've been I've actually been so frustrated with myself and with what happened that I haven't even watched the film back yet. But I know from what me and Ethan watched that it's there. It's on there. So, again, somebody with the ability to edit and pull out the contrast, and like, I think that we're going to be able to see what I saw that night. Now, with what the film that we have, along with my story, which is 100% credible, I know for a fact that everything I'm telling you is exactly what I experienced that night. Now, the human has a tendency to remember things slightly different from how they were, but we both got to witness this falling out of the sky at I'm going to get it went from thousands of miles an hour to zero instantly. There was no like like slowdown period. It was like this. Like there was no change in speed. Stop. It was. I've never seen that before. The only other time I ever seen anything kind of similar to it, I had another witness with me, the guy I worked with for years up here on the towboat. Me and him were standing there at the end of the day. We were exchanging information with the guy we worked with, telling him what we done through the day, what they needed to do for night shift. It was dusk, like the sun was pretty much down. It wasn't all the way down. It wasn't completely dark yet. But me and him were facing towards the house, towards where I live. So we were facing the way I'm facing right now. And he was standing directly in front of us. We were talking to him. And kind of out of the corner of my eye, because I'm looking at him, but I see this light at the, like, way up there, and it's blue. I watch it come straight down and then disappear. And I'm my buddy that's next to me, I'm like, dude, do you see that? Do you see that? We saw it for about 3 seconds. Okay, it wasn't a super fast, like, it looked controlled, but we both saw that. It was blue. It was interesting. These lights were white. They were white like a flashlight, not like a blue white, and not like I would say, like a super bright warm light is what it looked like. I was so excited, and my adrenaline was rushing. And I know that you can hear me on that video too, like kind of freaking out, because on that video, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ethan's video started right after that thing fell out of the sky. He did not catch that part. Had he caught that part, there'd be nobody that could argue with us about what they're seeing at all. Like, you couldn't argue with this. You watch something go from thousands of miles an hour to a dead stop and then join two other lights that are going in circles. What is that? I'm still freaked out about it. I honestly do feel like what we saw is probably going to change my entire mentality and my thought process. I don't even really know how it's affected my... I think about it all the time. Now, I've had multiple experiences throughout my life. This one was different. And I'm not even going to say it out loud. I'm not even going to say it. I've said it out loud to people, but I'm not going to say it because I already know the stigma that comes along with this. I already know that I can be easily labeled as a kook or whatever. Luckily, I have a witness this time with this. Luckily, we have a little bit of video. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have said anything, because I've had multiple other experiences that were, in my opinion, good ones that I've mentioned maybe a little bit, but I don't dwell on them because there's no way I can prove it. I was by myself. I got no proof. This is different, and it makes me kind of happy. It makes me kind of happy that we have the film and he got to see it with me. It's a little bit validating. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure he thought I was just kind of crazy because I've seen all these things. Like, Dad's crazy. He says that he's seen crap all the time. Well, yeah, I know. I get it. Anyway, I wasn't reading the comments while I was going through this. I was concentrating, telling you guys the most accurate depiction of what happened that I could. I mean, I don't feel like I am. I know. Well, actually, I know I'm not. But in reality, does that really matter? And it's not like I care what other people think. It's just like when there's a whole bunch of other people that think that way, and like say I do want to become a public figure of some kind. Let's say that. Then this stuff is not good. It's not good for your. It's not a good look. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the way it's been stigmatized. Like it's getting better. I mean, there's astronauts that talk about it now, which honestly blows my mind. Because I'll tell you what, 10, 15 years ago, I never would have believed you if you told me that astronauts were going to start talking about their experiences with UFOs and what they think about aliens. Can't remember who that was yesterday. I just saw an interview with an astronaut from Apollo 15. I believe it said he was an Apollo 15 astronaut, and he said the aliens are already here. He's like, the aliens have been here. He goes, we're the aliens. He said, we came from somewhere else in a ship and landed here a long, long time ago, and we restarted civilization. We started our civilization here. He's like, that's what I think. And I don't think he's wrong. I think we have had technology maybe even more advanced than what we see and what we have right now. I think technology throughout the ages has been very advanced, but just in different ways. So, sadly, if anything, it's all part of the next false flag. I don't know, Investory. I do think, actually, we know from government documents that they have planned for something like you're speaking of, to have a hologram or a fake, like they've tried to come up with a way to have like Jesus come back through, like holograms through the sky, and they also with a UFO invasion that they would fight off or whatever with holograms. Like they were talking about this stuff years and years ago. Government documents. Like this is not. I'm not crazy. This is not a conspiracy. This is documented in government documents that we were probably never supposed to see. I'm not going to say openly right now what the way I feel, the way I think about our government, although I should. What I will say is we need a whole lot less of it. That's where I stand. I feel like we need about 80 to 90% less government than what we have right now. And, we could argue about that till we're both blue in the face, whoever wants to argue with me about it. Tell me one thing that the government does that makes things better. Tell me one thing. I can't think of anything. Not one thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I look at maybe I'm looking at it. It's in some way wrong. There's just so much. There's so much corruption, so much lying, cheating, stealing, colluding. I mean, the stuff that's going on behind closed doors, and it's. If we knew facts, if like we had videos of all these crazy things, video and sound, if we had video and sound of all these crazy things that are going on behind closed doors, and you showed them to people, they were legit, not deep fakes or anything like that. If you showed them, people still wouldn't believe you. People would be like, "Oh, that's not real." Look, dude, it's real. Like this stuff's really happening, and I know it sounds so crazy that it couldn't be real, but it's real. These things are happening. These things seem like things out of a movie or out of a horrible horror, like series of books. But nope, this is real life. It's real life, and it's real messed up, and it's taken about 50, 60 years, about 50 years, 60 years to get to where we're at. I do feel like this really all started like on a solid, harsh, hardcore downhill with Kennedy. Not that he started, just, well, I mean, he did kind of start it by talking like I'm talking, like wanting to do away with too much government. Well, investory, yeah, I think, I mean, I would agree to disagree. I think that, I think there's something there. I don't think it's our government. Um, I don't think, they're that inclusive or smart. I mean, why would they have something flying around? From judging by from where I was standing and the direction I was looking, I would say it would have been, those lights would have been close to Athens, Ohio. They would have been to this side of Athens, Ohio, but they would have been to the south side of Athens, Ohio somewhere, if I was just to guess. I mean, it's really hard to judge something up in the sky that's rolling around, I'm going to say, between 15 and 20,000 feet. It's really hard to guess how far away that is. But I will tell you this, at times, they got considerably closer to me and my son. Like, we talked about it, like how much they had came closer when they'd light up again and they'd do their rotations, and then like it was really weird how it was happening. Like, but the one that fell out and stopped, like that changed the whole experience. That changed everything. Like, that right there made it impossible to be anything that I could explain to you or even explain in my head that it could possibly have been. It was certainly an exciting experience, something I'll never forget. I'm going to look at the footage, but I do plan on maybe turning in some of my turning in the footage to like Secure Team 10, maybe a couple other people, YouTubers that I've watched over the years, and see if they can do anything with the footage and give them the story that I have, and we'll see. I know somebody that works at Skinwalker Ranch. You do too. You guys know who he is. But he spent on the TV show is what I mean. I've talked to him about it, and it seemed, look, a lot of times, my opinion, like if you watch ghost videos on YouTube, a lot of that, I would say 80 to 90% of that stuff is fake. Was created by the creators that are filming it. Although there are things that happen that are unexplained, I feel like, because I've had things happen to me. But when you talk about like Skinwalker Ranch, they've dumped millions and millions of dollars into researching that place. If there was nothing to it and there was nothing there to begin with, I don't know why they would have dumped, especially that Bigelow guy, why he dumped so much money into that place. Which he did get a lot of, I think he got a lot of government subsidies, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look into that a little more, but it kind of seemed like that's how it was playing out the way I understood it. And if that's the case, then I can see why he done it and bought it up, and somehow he was able to sucker the government into giving him grants to test for stuff or something. Like maybe there'd be some crazy technology or gateway or passageway into another dimension or something is what they're looking for, I assume. So that whole situation, like there may be something to it, because, and the reason I say that is because I think the Native Americans wouldn't lie about something that they experienced hundreds of years ago. I think that stuff, when it comes down through the generational lines of stories, I don't see them lying about that stuff, really. I mean, there's at least a seed of truth to it somewhere in there. But with, like, my area, so that's very similar to my area. Like, there's not a whole lot of difference of the storyline when you talk about Skinwalker Ranch and where I live. Where I live, the Native Americans would not settle here. They would not live here. And they also, to go a step further, would not even farm this land. That's pretty extreme. When you had all this land you could have farmed on, and they didn't do it, they would not do it. When there's a river running right through it, like the Ohio River, one of the largest rivers in the United States. I mean, it's probably, what is it, the second largest, third largest? I don't know. I know, pretty sure the Mississippi's the largest. I would say the Ohio River is probably the second largest, if I was to guess. I could be wrong. Anyways, for them to not use this to their advantage, and especially down there where the two rivers meet, and you've got those corners, both those corners where the rivers meet, and the river's smaller over there. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I do, because of what they said, but if it wasn't for that, I would call you a fool for not using this property, because it's great soil for farming. That's been proven for hundreds of years now. George Washington actually used to frequent here, supposedly. I don't know. I mean, that's the history. And he saw so much potential in it that he chunked it up. The government chunked up this property and gave it away to people so that they would come here, settle here, and farm this property, this land. So that's how that happened back in the 1700s. Or 1776. So 1700s, whatever. Whenever it was. I would assume early 1800s is whenever they would have started, and this would have been Virginia back then. So, right? Can't remember when we split off. Anyway, the Indians said that this area is where the people from the sky would visit at night, and where the dead would walk at night. That's what they said. Like, you can look this up. Point Pleasant area, Mason County, West Virginia, and you will find what I'm talking about. That the Native American folklores, or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I think there's always a bit of truth in that, if not all. I mean, I feel like they probably wanted to be as accurate as they could, and I think a lot of them probably had experiences here that they passed down through the generations, and that's why they didn't do anything here. It's the only thing I can think. It's really interesting when you really think about the similarities between. Oh yeah, and we got the Mothman thing, which I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen that or anything of that, but I have a hard time calling all those witnesses liars. I think they saw something. I think they definitely saw something. I just don't know what they saw. Um, but I can promise you I saw something. As investor cargo cult, to understand what the Indians have seen. Cargo cult? Okay, I can do that. But yeah, there is certainly plans by our government to mess with the human psyche. And our government's pretty evil when it comes to, well, things like that. Let's just put it that way. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons, but let's just stick to that one right now. When you look at what they have actually proposed and planned, I mean, it gets pretty friggin' weird. And I'm not even talking about like the crazy paranormal stuff that they're wanting to tap into. But what'd you say? You said cargo. What? Look up. Okay, cargo. Call it. Indigenous system. Huh. Interesting. Never heard of this before. Anyway. The one after. In the World War will be the best example. In the World War. You know, as far as the Bigfoot goes, I do believe there's something out there. Because there's way too many people, credible people, not people that are like clout chasing, that have seen something. And I'll tell you another interesting one. If you guys don't know about it, I can't remember the fellow's name, but he was on TikTok, but it was all over YouTube. That guy lived up in Canada that saw the giants, or the giant, one giant on top of a mountain. He filmed it. He then became kind of obsessed with it. Came back multiple times looking for it. Drove up on to the mountain because there's a road up there. Drove up onto the mountain. Got stopped by government. Then he made some other like crazy videos, basically like one of them where he looked like he was being threatened, and it said that it was a lie. He was just faking it all. And then right after that, he posted a video. He's like, it wasn't a lie. It was all real. He's like, this might be the last post I ever get to make. And then he wound up dead after that. They said he committed suicide. Now, how many times? Well, I don't even feel good talking about this. How many times have people ended up gone, but very suspicious circumstances? I just caught again that video of that fella. I think he was in Arizona, or maybe it was Nevada, where he had a corner lot property, and I don't know what provoked this, what started it. I can't remember, but it's because it's been like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 2016-ish, 7 years ago. Anyways, these cops kept like kind of harassing him, and he came out and said, they're going to take me out this weekend. And then he ended up gone that weekend, and was stabbed in the back and all kinds of, and they said that it was self-inflicted. His house was lit on fire. Said that it was self-inflicted. How do you do that? How do you do it? You don't. I mean, I've heard a story of someone strapping one to a wall and backing into it. I don't know how many times you can manage to do that, but I've heard of someone doing that. That's not what happened here. Can't remember that fella's name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But, I mean, that happened. And then, look at Epstein. Like, total creep. Horrible person, I'm sure. Like, just from what I've heard and what I've seen. But, the cameras just happen to not be working. The guards just happen to be sleeping. They just happened to go in right after that and move everything in there. And he had been gone for like an hour or two, and they tried to revive him. Like, who does that? That one that seen the giant. What about the one that seen the giant? Nope, can't see the link, but let me see if I can get it. Because if you guys haven't seen it, man, it's really, really interesting. And if I can see it, I'll post it for you, Investory. Because if that was a hoax, and if that guy's still alive, they did one heck of a job. Like, one heck of a job faking that. Because it got me. Let me see here. I am not seeing. I don't see your link, but I'll look it up and I'll post a link real quick. I can't remember his name. I don't know which video to use here. Most of these are posted 3 months ago, but it happened longer ago than that. Let's see. Okay. The Y files. The Y files. The Y files. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'm going to post two different links. There's one, and then the Y files link is incoming. There you go. Turned out to be BS. Do you guys know the do you guys know the guy that I was talking about that hang on. I'll see if I can find the video. Let's see. Let's see. This is old. I mean, like I said, it's years ago. But he had all kinds of CCTV video from his house. And like one time, this white van pulled up across the street from his house, slid the sliding door open. There's a guy sitting there with like a, I'm going to say $150,000, $250,000 camera, filming his house. Like, this guy seemed pretty harmless, really. Like, I think he was an ex-Marine, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not finding it. Okay. I can't remember where it was at, and I just saw a video about that in the past couple days. Oh, this video of that fellow that was in the hotel. this is one of the most sickening police things I've ever. I can't just talk about things on YouTube. Let me talk about that for a second, just real quick. You have to self-censor yourself so much just to be on this platform. Like, they're trying hard to kick Crowder off now. He has been flocking people over to Rumble. And, I surely see exactly what they're doing. I mean, I get it. They got a bunch of liberal people that are probably late teens, 19 to 23 years old, working in the YouTube offices. They hate everything he says. They probably don't even watch most of it. Like, they 2-minute clips here, there, and they can't stand it. And they're targeting him, just like we know that they do for a fact now because of the Twitter files. Thank God that we actually have physical proof now that this all is. I mean, we all knew. Like, people on this side that deal with it and see it, we all knew this was happening. We all knew exactly what everything that we knew is true. Like, everything we thought we knew turns out it's true. If that makes any sense. But there'll still be people that'll argue with you till they're blue in the face, even though, like, you can present them with this evidence. It's like, here you go. This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what was said. This is the money that was paid, like millions of dollars. And that's just a one. That's just a Twitter. That's just Twitter. Like, think about all the other ones. How about Facebook? Dude, Zuckerberg has lobbied with millions and millions and millions of dollars to the government trying to get rid of TikTok because people left his platform, like, in the dust to go over there because they, like, hated where Facebook had went. It's nothing but pushing ads on you and selling your data. That's all Facebook is about. I'm so glad I never joined that horrible platform. I knew it was bad 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, however long ago it's been, a long time ago. I never liked their business plan. Have they made billions of dollars? Kind of. Like, really, it's all based on what the company's worth. It's a projected value, and it's just them putting a value on that really horrible company. Zuckerberg's worse than an alien, dude. Like, he is. Yeah, well, there's at least one walking, huh? Walking around. He's. Oh man, I'm not a fan. You know, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not a fan. I don't like what he has done overall to the American society. I don't think he understands or even thinks of it as in the way that it really is, the harm that's been caused. He just is hyper focused on making the money. And the difference between him and, say, like Elon Musk, I don't see those same traits with Elon. Do I think Elon could probably do some horrible things? Probably. I mean, anyone with that much money and power could do some horrible things. Has he? Maybe. I don't know. A lot of things happen, like I mentioned earlier, behind closed doors that we may never know about. And if we do find out about them, it could be 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And I might be gone. I'll probably be gone, you know. I'll be, if I see 90 years old and I'm still up walking around and healthy enough to function, I'd call that a win, you know. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. You know, he's done a few things that I've not really been on board with and agreed with, but at the same time, the good that he's done has way outweighed. And I think I mean, even as long as just as short as a few years ago, I think he was in a whole different political and social space. Since then, I think it seems like he's kind of broke away and kind of started thinking for himself in as far as those situations go. I think he's always thought for himself as far as his intelligence and creative, like his the amount of creativeness that he has towards his programs that he's doing, you know, with Tesla, SpaceX, things like that. Whatever. People will be like, "Oh, he's not that smart. He just bought PayPal and got in there and sold it and made a bunch of money." I'm like, you've heard him talk, right? Like you've heard this guy. Like he's pretty intelligent, and his ideas, like the way he does school for his kids, I think is brilliant. I think if I could put my kids in a system like that, I mean, you're going to have. It seems like you're going to have some really good results out of raising kids in a school system like that. Well, it's his own school system, but in a system like that. Wow. Florida man who survived alligator attack caught on drone video. Woman slips out of handcuffs, shoots an AR-15 out of a police vehicle. Cool. Well, how did she get that anyway? That's an interesting one. That was 7 months ago. Yeah, I don't see that. You guys just have to look for it if you want to. I mean, it's definitely interesting, man. That guy surely didn't do it to himself. That the story I was talking about. It was somewhere out west though. He was in a dry climate, Arizona, Nevada. It seemed like it was like a more popular state like that. It could have been maybe California. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, well, I probably shouldn't be either, investory. you know, I think it's important to talk about things that are truth or fact that you can back up with actual evidence of fact. I don't know where we would be if we didn't. And being able to have a discussion back and forth about that is also very important. I don't think that it should be this, I don't like what you got to say, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to be allowed to talk. I don't want you to be allowed to post that video because I don't like what you're saying. That's not what this is about. And YouTube has taken, stop it, taken this stance of they are an editor now. Like they are just like a newspaper. They pick and choose what they allow on their platform. They don't just allow anyone to post anymore. That's not what YouTube is supposed to be like. Now it's their tube. It's not our tube anymore. It's not YouTube. It's their tube. They decide. People in offices behind desks and on keyboards in their homes, you know, probably a lot of them just working from home. It's well, you guys know this all started back in 2017, the kind of downward spiral to where we're at now. But prior to then, like, I mean, you go back and look at the content. It's it's crazy what used to be. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just what it should have been. Like, I feel like you should have been allowed to do whatever. And look at the things that became popular. The algorithm back then pushed what people liked. If more people clicked, it's because they liked it. It got pushed to the front, which made more people see it, which is that's how TikTok's functioning right now. I don't think it'll stay that way. I do not. I think if you want to make a career on social media right now, go to TikTok. TikTok right now has the exact same business plan that YouTube used to have. It's almost identical. As far as the algorithm goes and what's getting popular and what's not. Some of the things that are getting popular are very, very, very stupid. So are they on YouTube. Like, look at iDubbbz. Look at Filthy Frank. I mean, I still don't even understand some of the content that he put out back in the day. I mean, I'll watch it because I like those guys. And you compare that to the same level of things that are happening on TikTok, right? It's right there. Like they're right there at the same level. It's just different. Like the kids are different now. The technology's been different for years now. It's formed them into it's the same thing. It's just a different subject matter. Like that's it. Cut off. Well, I hear you. I mean, I hear you. I haven't done it yet, but I'm just saying if you want to start for you to make it on YouTube now, I mean honestly, I don't even know. Like you would have to be exactly what they want you to be. You couldn't be what you want to be unless that happens to line up with what they want you to be. You see what I'm saying? You can't just do what you think is cool or say what you think is cool or say what you feel. You can't do that anymore unless it lines up with what they think, what they want. That's the only way it works on YouTube now. Like I said though, on TikTok, the algorithm over there, it seems like I used to be hardcore against it, and I know I'm on the fence. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I will tell you this: to see our government fighting it the way they are makes me think they're doing something right. And I think one of the main things, and you can tell me what you think about this, I think one of the main things that TikTok is doing right is allowing discussions to happen. But they do censor a lot of conservative people over there. I mean, it's still happening. But there's conversations happening over there that could never happen on YouTube. And I do think that is what the government hates about it. The government is using this excuse of, look, let me tell you something. You can take this or leave it. I don't care. Every bit of information that, let's say TikTok, they're gathering every bit of information that they can through that app. Let's say they are. It's nothing that they couldn't purchase for pennies on the dollar, cheaper than what they could by running their own app, most likely, or the same price. They could buy every bit of that data right now from Facebook, from Instagram. They can buy it all. It's all for sale. The government and all these other companies in America, they're all selling that. Amazon, they're all selling that data. Your data. What used to be your personal space and your personal information and your personal life, your privacy, you don't have it anymore. And every time that you download a new app and you don't read that user agreement, even if you do, like that means every app that you have you couldn't have, because if you just couldn't have them. Every time you click I agree, I acknowledge, I agree, yes, give me the app. You just gave away your rights. You just gave away your privacy. Every single time you do it. I've been very conscious of this for many years, and I didn't go along with it for years. I fought it. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to get with everybody else. I'm going to be one of the sheep, and I'm following. Download. Accept. Acknowledge. Agree. Give it to me. Give it all to me. I've stayed away from most of them. That I don't, well, not most of them. I've stayed away from a lot of them. The big ones, like Facebook. I got an Instagram for eating history. Nothing. I've never put or done anything personal over there. YouTube's the only thing I've ever let any of my life out on. Like this is it. This is the only space I've ever put anything out there. So it's probably one of the worst ones, to be honest. YouTube got so addicted to the money that they were making from advertisers that the first hint of an advertiser leaving back in late 16, early 17, when PewDiePie had that small incident, it was really so small to create the fuss that they did and what happened afterwards. Anyway, from that point on, YouTube didn't care what you wanted anymore. They cared what the advertisers wanted. They cared about that before, but before then they cared more about growing their platform, reaching more people, getting it out there. And what really happened, I want to say, is Google bought it. As soon as Google bought YouTube, YouTube was over. YouTube no longer existed. Now it's Google Tube. You know what I mean? It only matters. They only care how much money can they make, how much can they get for my data, how much can they get for your data, how much can they get for everyone's data, how much can they get for a group data, like, and they sell it constantly. It's like I said, if TikTok wants that information, they ain't got no problems getting it. None at all. They're not going to tell them no. They lay out millions of dollars, and they say, how high you want me to jump? What do you want me to do? You want his data? Oh, I can give you that. You want President Biden's data? Oh, I can give you that. You want Trump's data? I can give you that. You want anybody's data? I can give you that. Sure. Give me some money. That's all it is. What's really got me concerned is what's going to... I'm going to knock on wood because I'm that kind of stressed about it. What's going to happen to the dollar? Petrodollar goes away. America changes overnight. Overnight. And then what? And then what? Oh, Josh, what's going on, buddy? Are you restricting these? What's happening? Yeah, I would agree Zuckerberg's a thief. Zuckerberg's worse than a thief. I like a channel called Deer Meat for Dinner. They would show how to skin deer and stuff. Now YouTube cut it out. See? Again, that's a skill, Josh. I think every man and every woman that wants to. I think every man should be able to know how to field dress a deer. You should also know how to quarter that deer down and get it cut up, put it in your freezer, or, well, preserving it. That's old school. We all have freezers now. But what if we don't? What if the power's gone? What if we can't keep the power on? One EMP. Actually, I think they said 3 perfectly placed EMPs could wipe out everything for 3 years. It'd take 3 years to rebuild to where the power would come back on. Or any game, for that matter. Any game. Silver and gold can always be traded and bartered. About to come back big time. Landlord. I don't know. I really don't know. I would like to be able to agree with you on that because I love silver and gold. I love it. I've always loved it. I've been a collector for many years. I also know, like, I understand what it used to mean for our dollar to be backed up by gold. God, if we would have never went off the gold standard, think about where we'd be. Think about where we'd be. I mean, makes me smile to think about it. Makes me sad to think about where it went, though. We never should have went off the gold standard. Yeah, I germs and MRE. They cut the deer processing content because it's harmful for. Come on, man. No, it ain't. Like, no, it ain't. I mean, maybe it is a little bit. What isn't? What isn't? Like, if you're going to go that route, ban everybody that's driving cars on YouTube. Ban everybody that farts on YouTube. You just put out some CO2 gas, you're done. Like, come on. Like, these are things, like, again, when it comes to educational things like that, I think the more people that can find this content and learn from it, the better. Learning it on YouTube and putting it into practice sometimes are two different things. It depends on your own skill level and your ability to follow instructions and, You know how that works. Anyways, I've been talking for a long time. I'm going to let you guys go. It's a fun night. I opened a lot of packages. Got the big ones to open here. I don't know if let's outlaw bridges and tall buildings. I know, right? Um, like I said, I mean everything's bad for the environment. I guess Elon. I've heard him talk about it before. I'll end on this, but I heard him talk about it before. How we're in a population decline in America. Like for the first time since World War II, instead of the birth rate going up, it's went down 2 consecutive years in a row. 2020 and 2021, and maybe 2022. I don't know if they got the numbers for 22 yet, but 2020 and 21 for sure. Probably 22 too. He is like legitimately worried that we are going to age out. And he keeps referring back to China. He's like, look at China. Everybody in China is old. And there ain't nobody to take care of them. There ain't nobody to take care of these old people. And you got the Social Security system. The way the Social Security system works is by these new people coming into the workforce and paying into the system. Paying into Social Security. Like, that's what keeps the system rolling. You got to have these new people, these younger people coming in, paying in, that are paying for the older people that have retired out, that have aged out. And if we don't have those new people coming into the workforce, and who's going to pay for these old people? Like, yes, we've paid into it for, I paid into it for a little over 20 years before I got hurt. 1996 or 7, I think. Oh, no, it would have been before that. My first tax-paying job was Dairy Queen, and I was either 12 or 13 years old when I went to work there. But I only worked there for one year, and I did work there during school and into the summer. So I don't know how many months I worked there, but I worked there. Then after that, I worked under the table for 2 or 3 years. I worked construction with my stepdad, which has been sick. He had cancer. He has cancer. He just finished up chemo. Anyway, but I paid into it for 21 years, and then got hurt, and I'm disabled. I need disability. So, unfortunately, I'm taking out of it instead of paying into it. So that's where I'm at in my life. Oh, here it is. It's itching like crazy, man. It doesn't look bad on that camera, but I'm telling you, it's like swollen up. I don't know if you can tell how swollen it is. I just want to dig it. Oh, God. Oh. All right. Got a message of Landlord. I got to not forget about that. That's what it's there for. Yeah, I know. But I don't feel guilty about it. What makes me kind of really think about it and second guess it or whatever is like Elon talking about aging out, like all of us aging out, and all these kids not working and paying into it. When you got, let's put it this way, like almost half the kids that are working now, like coming out of college or high school, they're starting their own hustle. They're doing their own thing. They're not paying into Social Security. They're paying their taxes, 1099s, and that's it. They're not paying into Social Security, which means they won't be eligible for it. If they don't have a retirement, they don't build up their own retirement, they're going to be SOL. I would say the generation after me would probably be the last ones that are like traditionally working and paying into it. Kids that are like my son's age or a little older, so like 20 to 27, let's say, years old, in that range right there, 20 to 25 right there. A lot of those people are doing their own thing. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's good. I think the more money you can make, the better. Do what you can do. Do whatever you want to do. But that's not going to be good for the government. Here's the thing, though. Anybody that would argue with me about this, I automatically know where they're coming from. So it tells me everything I need to know. But our government's budget could be reduced by 70 to 80% in a very short period of time. And that would mean a lot of government jobs that are pointless and useless that need to be gone. That's how we fix that. But that ain't going to happen. When was the last time you heard about a government program starting and then it stopped? Like, when was the last time you ever heard of that ever happening? Once they start, they don't stop. I used to think to think welfare was good. It helps people that can't work, and low income people that I used to think it was good. Now I understand more of its people get addicted to it, and it's a crutch. And now we got second, third, fourth generations of people that have only ever been on welfare. They get declared of having something, something wrong with them whenever they're kids, and that's it. Get a check, whole life, and then once they get that check, they refuse to work because I'm getting free money. If I go to work, they take it away. Like, why would I go to work? Don't make sense. Senators and Congress people back on a per diem instead of salary kill their benefits, and there's all the money you need. Yeah, I mean, we need to do a lot more than that, though, dude. I mean, yes, that's part of it. Absolutely. Anything that could be abused will get abused. Yeah, I know. I mean, I get it. I don't think I'm naive and I don't understand what this is all about and what they do and why they do it. I get it. I just don't agree with it. And I feel like if we could all wise up and understand that this is not for the betterment of anybody and start doing something about that, then we can start to make some progress. Then we can start taking steps in the right direction. Because as far as I can tell, we've been walking backwards for a long time. It's going to take us a long time to get back to where we were at 50, 70 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, that's the thing. If you work for a high-level government at all, Speaker of the House, let's use her for example, but anybody in the House of Representatives, anybody in the Senate, anybody in the Congress, you are not allowed to own stocks. You are also not allowed to be lobbied by pharmaceutical companies, by chemical companies, by... Nope. Corruption doesn't matter. Every single time it happens, it's blatant, out in the open, for everyone to see, corruption happening, and we just act like it. People just, I don't know if they don't get it. I don't know what that is. I don't understand why you would be okay with, let's use Pfizer. Why are you okay with Pfizer? Me and you, everyone watching this, we funded the programs, all the research for the, the thing that can't be spoken on YouTube. We funded it. We paid for it with our tax dollars. Then they sold it and profited all those billions of dollars. $900 billion. $900 billion. Did any of that money come back to us? Let's just say this. Let's just for the sake of argument, or the sake of whatever, how about all that money that we funded the programs with, which would have been probably in the billions, how about you just pay that back out of your 900 billion profit? Just pay that back. We paid for it, paid for everything, to all the research, all the development, everything, and then they made $900 billion off of what we paid for. How does that make sense? Can you make it make sense? I can't make it make sense in my head. Maybe somebody out there could explain it to me. I'm open-minded. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I am. I don't know. Getting off base a little bit, but it seems like it's something that it seems it's like such a simple fix. First of all, we should have never funded it. Think those guys were hurting for money for their own research and development? No. You think they didn't know that they were going to make tons of money off of that research and development? No. They knew that. But no. The government was like, here, take our money. Here, take all those taxpayers' money and make us something as quick as you can. And then we'll pay you for it. All kinds of money for what you make. And then the rest of the world will pay you for it too. And we'll pay you for it to send it all around the world. I mean, come on, man. That's one thing that has been bothering me. Let alone what it has done to people. Some of the things I've seen myself. Scary. Devastating. Sad. All those things. Anyway, I was going to get off here 20 minutes ago. I need to check out, I guess. I got a bunch of stuff to clean up. I got a pile of boxes behind me. It's like that deep. Because I just kind of threw them back there. Huge thanks to Dan for the food. You fed me tonight. And I've got 3/4 of a meat pie, 2/3 of a meat pie to go finish. And got to finish up the sausage roll, which I think I'll probably save the sausage roll for breakfast. I think it'll heat up just fine. I'll probably throw it back in the oven, though, make it crispy. I'm super stoked about the ration items that I picked up. I mean, I wish I would have picked up that other civilian that I didn't get, that they sold. I guess they sold because I made them an offer on it, and they said they'd take it, and then they didn't get back with me, which kind of sucks. I'll show you guys the one I'm talking about. It was the one with the yellow print on it right here. Yeah, I wish I'd have got this one. This one would have went really good with this trail pack thing that I got off of Saltycroccollectibles. This one was made by Right Away Foods. It was beef. It wasn't beef stew. The menu that they had for sale was. No, it was beef stew. I'll be dang. It was beef stew. It was but it didn't say what came in it. Not that it would matter. Distributed by Major Surplus and Survival, Gardenia, California. And it was Right Away Foods, McAllen, Texas. Huh. Oh, no, this one was cheese tortellini. That's what I thought. It's listed down here as beef stew, but it was cheese tortellini. That's why I wasn't super stoked about it. I was like, eh. But I had never seen one like this before. I would like to find another one of these and get my hands on it. Super cool display item, if nothing else. The trail pack's pretty cool. I also have a couple other. I don't know if one's a prototype or what it is, but it's got a weird, like, printed, taped on label that I got. I got it from Steve, and it's a pretty interesting one. It's got a little slit in it, but it's because of that little slit we know a little bit about what's in it. But it's an interesting one. I don't know what that is. But alright, guys. Again, huge thanks to Dan for the PR1M. I mean, holy crap. Got some interesting drinks from him in there. Got the coffee. Black currant. What was the other one? Oh, the ginger beer that might be from 2008, I think. Maybe. Obviously, the Lamingtons, which these things must be super popular over there because, well, I need to get this in a baggie because it's starting to get hard. Anyway, they make M&Ms. He sent me some a long time ago that were Lamington flavored, and I didn't know what that was. Now I know. But I gotta put that other one in a baggie or eat it. I don't need to eat it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm going to stream Saturday or not, but that'll depend on what's going on. And huge thanks to my patrons, because I haven't taken that Patreon money out, but I figure eventually I will, and that will be what pays me back for this. And these are definitely going to be videos. I would love to be able to get on an aircraft. It doesn't have to come off the ground. I just like to be able to get on a B-52, something, anything, even a jet. Sit in the cockpit, you know, anywhere, some sort of military jet or airplane, and eat this. Meat bars. From 1963. I thought they mostly ran from like 68, 69, most of the ones that were out there. But this one apparently is from January of 1963, so almost back into 62. Procured under the U.S. government specification by Defense Substance Supply Center, Chicago, Illinois. I mean, honestly, this one's in good shape. Even though it did come in hamster bedding. Whatever. Yeah, this one's definitely still sealed. This is the one I was a little worried about because of that lifted tab right there. But no. That sounds like it's in pretty good shape, honestly. I mean, the sides being like that really don't concern me too much because it doesn't feel bloated or anything. Especially this is like sucked in. So, but these obviously weren't supposed to be together. They just, at some point in the history, they ended up finding their way together. Some collector was like, oh, I need the part 2 or I need the part 1, and they got a March of 69. That's cool to have a 1969 one, though. You know, that's the first 1969 item that I've been able to get my hands on. They're very hard to get. I get 68 and 70 stuff, but hardly ever do I get 1969 stuff. Well, never, actually. And some super vintage gum that I cannot wait to do a video on and try, because Wrigley's has a very, very rich history, especially with the military. So, I'm pretty sure that's what these... Well, I guess they don't have to be military packs, but they very well could be military packs, the 4 and 5 pack of like chiclet style. Fun stuff, man. Thanks to LC for sending me a super chat. That was super kind of you. It's the only super chat that I got tonight, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I can't check it. Okay. If I go to stream Saturday, I'll try to let you guys know Friday sometime, afternoon, evening. And then I'll also try to announce it earlier Saturday. So if that happens, I'll try to let you guys know ahead of time. If not, I'll probably do like another week time one, and then the next Saturday. Try to catch up a little bit on the stream. I guess I feel like I'm a little bit behind. Well, I'm not really one behind, but I will be if I miss Saturday. After I miss Saturday, if I miss Saturday. But all right, guys, I'm gonna clean up the food, finish the meat pie, clean up my mess. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all my new rations. I mean, I've got a display worth of new rations. I mean, with that can of soup and the sock ration in there, that's way smaller than I thought it would ever be. And Salty's new stuff. But all right, guys. I guess all I got left to do now is say thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream.